What happened in Rachel, Jack and Ashley 2, Season 5, Episode 3 of Black Mirror? What was really going on, and what message was it giving about humanity and technology and who we are? Hi everyone, this is Robert. Welcome to Deep Geek. If you want regular insight and intelligent debate about Black Mirror, Game of Thrones, Westworld and Lord of the Rings, then click on the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Let's get one thing straight first of all. Rachel, Jack and Ashley 2 is not a story about Ashley O, Miley Cyrus's character. Yes, Miley Cyrus is the most famous name in the cast list. The pre-publicity was all about her, and she puts in a really rather good performance. But this is actually a story driven by the trio of Rachel, Jack and Ashley 2, the little robot toy, which is why their names are in the title. And it is their story that matters here. They are the protagonists. This is important because Ashley O's story is actually not that challenging. She is, I think deliberately, the slightly tropish baseline to the story. We don't need the details of her life, we kinda know it all already. She's a child star, now grown and starting to feel distant from her upbeat poppy personality. But she has a controlling manager who cares more about the money than about her well-being. Even the twists are not new. Downloading her personality into a robot is straight out of several other Black Mirror episodes, and touring with the hologram of a dead singer is reality now. At the time of recording, there are active plans for major tours featuring the holograms of Prince and Amy Winehouse, to name just two, apparently supported by the estates of both of those artists. Even the end of Ashley O's story is not a real surprise. She escapes and embraces the real her, singing the music that she really wants to, empowered and free. There's nothing groundbreaking or even surprising here. Ashley O's story is not a Black Mirror story. There's no dark undertone, just a positive story of empowerment and of the good guys winning. So, if her story isn't the main thing we should be focusing on, but just the baseline, what is the real melody of Rachel, Jack and Ashley 2? Well, as we noted earlier, the real protagonists are the title characters. But for them, Ashley O would have stayed in her coma or been killed, and her manager aunt would have won. So perhaps their story is what we should focus on. And theirs undoubtedly is a fun adventure. We are given plenty of parallels and comparisons with Ashley O's own story. The loss of a mother, the isolation and the love of music are clear, but we can also see the two sisters as reflections of the two aspects of Ashley O's personality that we are presented with, the poppy upbeat one and the grungy angry one. There's also Rachel and Jack's father, focused so much on work and creating a robot version of the mice he hopes will earn him a fortune, like Ashley O's manager creates a robot version of her that she hopes will earn her a fortune. And this, of course, is how the two stories are finally linked. The technology Rachel and Jack's dad is using to create his robot mouse seems compatible with the technology used to create Ashley 2, allowing them to unlock her true personality and, crucially, memories. Which, as an aside, does imply that that's what their dad is doing, not just making a robot mouse, but replicating a real mouse's personality and memories, such as they are, into a robot which he will then control. This is a very 21st century twist on the moral dilemmas around animal testing. It seems clearly wrong to do it to Ashley O, but is it okay to do it to animals? To be truthful, the episode doesn't really explore that idea any further, and it also doesn't dig much further into the other moral mazes that are briefly in the spotlight here. A more standard Black Mirror storyline would at this point probably head off into the murky and slightly dystopian questions of who does own the rights to those songs plucked from Ashley O's head, or to Ashley Eternal. Do your memories, the things you create and how you present yourself to the world, truly belong to you? Do the laws we have created truly protect the vulnerable here, like Ashley O herself in this instance, or those in positions of power, like her aunt, buoyed by the apparent clamour of millions for more from Ashley O, or Ashley 2, or Ashley Eternal, or any of the apparently interchangeable Ashleys? But Rarely for Black Mirror, we are not treated to the darker outcomes or possibilities, but by the uplifting story of the good guys winning and the bad guys getting their comeuppance. Technology may have presented our heroes with some problems, but it also provided the solutions. This doesn't seem like a Black Mirror so much as a rose-tinted mirror. So what is the message here? Or the challenge that we are being presented with? Which aspect of our modern life is this reflecting back to us and inviting us to re-examine? I think the answer lies not in the characters of this story, but in the messages that are clearly being continually pushed into the minds of teenagers in this world, as they are in ours. This entire episode is a critique of some of the most unchallenged truisms in our society today. We hear them coming from the mouth of Ashley O, and then Ashley 2, and then parroted back by Rachel. In her interview, Ashley O tells the watching masses that they must have confidence to be who they want to be. Her song talks of being true to herself, and then you will get what you deserve. Ashley 2, when asked to explain what her song On a Roll means, says that it is her saying, "Look how far I've come. If I can do it, so can you. You can be who you want to be. You can be a success." Rachel, having got the message, later repeats to herself again and again, "I can do anything if I just believe in myself. I can do anything if I just believe in myself." These messages seem bland, familiar. They are the kinds of things we hear again and again parroted out by pop bands and influencers everywhere in our world. You can do anything if you just believe in yourself. And what's wrong with that, you may ask? Why shouldn't our young people be filled with positive messages about believing in themselves and aiming high? Well, this is where the Black Mirror critique kicks in, the dark twist of truth and nuance on these all-pervasive positive messages. Because when we break down this story, hardly any of the characters actually live up to those messages. Ashley O is apparently one of the largest stars on the planet when she isn't being herself. When she does break free and finally plays the music she wants to, it's to a corner bar with perhaps a few dozen people in it. Is she happier and in a better place? Definitely. Is she as successful? No. And take Rachel and her dancing earlier in the episode. Ashley 2 encourages her to dance to On a Roll, and then tells her that her dancing is incredible. That if she believes in herself, she can do anything. That she's the best. That she's going to look like a star. It's a stream of never-ending supportive positivity which makes Rachel believe that she will achieve great things because her dancing is so good. As we've seen, Rachel leaves the house repeating the mantra to herself, "I can do anything if I just believe in myself." This, of course, is not true. If we remove the positivity soundtrack from what was going on, we, the viewers, can see that although Rachel is fine at dancing and clearly enjoys it, she isn't incredible by any stretch of the imagination. Even the app on her phone that she is using to copy the dance moves from shows that her dancing was 3 stars out of 5. Good, but not incredible. When she does her routine on stage, she misses a step and falls off the chair. She could have just carried on dancing, but no, she flees. She had filled her mind so much with the mantra that she could achieve anything if she just believed in herself, that when she didn't achieve her dreams, she was, in her mind, a failure. So we see, as with Ashley O, that just believing in yourself and you can achieve anything is not just bland positivity, it can actually be harmful advice when that is all we hear. Even the characters who seem to be of a completely different generation and not trying to live up to these mantras seem to have been set up to show that just being yourself and applying yourself aren't enough. Rachel and Jack's father seems to be almost completely focused on his mouse control business. There does seem to be an element here of him focusing his energies on that as a way to cope with the death of his partner, but what is undeniably true is that he is being true to himself and his dream and throwing his all into it. Jack criticises him for spending all his time on his work, And when he does go out to support his daughters in gigs and talent shows, he doesn't actually watch them. He tries to sell his product to disinterested members of staff. He even dresses his car up as a mouse in a vain attempt to drum up business. He believes in himself. He works hard, and he is still not successful. Even in the last scene, he is trying and failing to get a sale. Again, this story is telling us that the positive messages we have been fed are not right. If you just believe in yourself, you can't necessarily do anything. And perhaps even more damningly when you consider Ashley O's aunt manager and how very close she came to getting away with it all, you have to recognise that she too was being true to herself, and she did achieve great things. She was at the top of her game. The endless positive messages actually seemed right when it came to her. She was being true to herself, achieving great things, having confidence in who she wanted to be. But are we supposed to take her as a role model? No. You can follow all that positive messaging and still be horrible to other people. So in this episode, we're being shown that although these endless positive messages may seem benign, they are misleading and potentially dangerous. But crucially, they are ubiquitous in our world as well as in the world of Black Mirror. Pop stars say these things, and social influence are always telling us to be true to ourselves. And it's not new. Shakespeare told us the exact same thing, and who can disagree? Being true to yourself and believing in yourself is important. But the idea that that will automatically bring with it a life of success or happiness is, this episode tells us, a lie. We can do everything our culture tells us to do and still not be successful, still not achieve all we have set our hearts upon. It's a dark message for dark times. Black Mirror is not and never has been a show about technology. We are invited to witness the often dark impacts of technology on our lives and consider what that tells us about us. It isn't the technology that is evil, or occasionally good, but us. The technology just allows us to see ourselves from different angles. Here in this episode, the technology allows apparently empowering, positive messages to be delivered not just from a TV screen or speaker, but from personalities designed to be our friends, designed to make us trust them. Are we ready for a world where life advice and moral pronouncements are not being delivered by billboards or magazines or TV screens, but by friendly voices and machines controlled by corporations, everywhere, to everyone, all the time? If you'd like to see breakdowns of more Black Mirror episodes, please subscribe or click on the Black Mirror playlist on the left of the screen. Or if you'd like to support Deep Geek or get access to more exclusive content, please click on the link to my Patreon page on the right of the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.